We're live.
Ta-da!
Well, everybody that was wondering, Dwayne wanted to know when I was getting started. I told him it was starting, so here we are. Well, we are Sunday Night Live. As you all know, we start at 7 o'clock Mountain Time, 9 o'clock Eastern, every Sunday. Otherwise, I'm busy doing other things, but I would like to know that everybody can hear us and see us okay with no issues. Before we get started tonight,
Yeah, we gotta let it. Looks like a little bit of a lag. Oh, there you are.
well, Henry said no video, so.
Right, but now I'm looking at it now, and there's video. When he said it, there was none. But okay, see now he says yes times 2. So
Okay, everybody. Now, normally we have our little topics from the groups that have to do with business and everything else that we talk about. Well, the last couple of weeks, there have been things going on in the groups and on my Facebook, on my Facebook page and on my channel that have kind of gotten to me, and I've kept it quiet, and now I can't. It's beyond that point. Hence the title. Yes, there is good to the news, there are bad, and there is ugly. More or less, the bad and ugly can get tied together, but I'm going to start with a little bit of the good. And before we even do that, Dwayne, you want to say anything before we get going and maybe do some couple shout outs beforehand?
sure, I can do some shout outs. Well, we have our usual crowd. I didn't see anybody new, but I'll say your names anyway because you're here. So we got Henry and Mr. Sadie, Turtle Trader, and a Purple Lily 1. Let's see, go down a little bit. Man, you can same commenters. Amelia2325 made it. Linnell from Idaho made it. I think the Crazy Card was in it, but way at the beginning. I don't know if he's come back yet. Glenn from Swamp Picker here is here in the house.
Well, you know, a couple of new guys.
Barbara Barrick going on Grumpy.
You got Rhonda Allen.
Hold on, I'm kind of low. Kathy Iris or Earls? Sorry, my screen's a little shaky. Joni, Alvin Smith.
We got Loretta Brown and Swamp. Rhonda actually saw one other episode, just so you know. She's not necessarily new. This might get.
And Chicago Crown Hustler, sorry. Loretta Brown is the only other one. Steven Scroggins. You're not a first-time watcher, Steven. Nice try. All right, guess that's it. Let's get this started.
I'll start with the good. And actually, I'll start with your good.
My good?
Hey,
you want me to start? You said you wanted me to start with my good?
Yeah.
Well, being a veteran, I decided to use some of my veterans benefits and got pre-approved for a loan. So it looks like we're going to buy a house. I left Coco out. I'm sorry. I break into my story. Coco, I'm very sorry. I didn't see you. Even though I did message you. Anyway. We got approved for a pretty decent sized loan for a house, and now we're looking for a home. So I want it to be anywhere but Utah, but it looks like I'll probably buy here, do a 5-year plan here, and then decide where we want to really live. But that's really exciting for us. We lost our house about, oh boy, I don't know how many years ago, 6 or 7 years ago. We got in over our heads and lost it. So we've been renting ever since and starting to find a way back, getting our credit back in shape so that we could purchase again. So I'm excited.
Well, that's good.
But not as excited as my wife. My wife is very excited. I mean, she's like already packing, kind of excited. And I'm like, we haven't even looked yet. So.
And speaking of your wife, she actually friended me on Facebook, which shocks you when I told you.
Right. Well, she actually said, when I asked her about it, she said, I thought I already was friends with him. So, and she knows you quite well just from being in the same room when, you're talking. So she knows quite a bit about you guys, you and Roxy. And, cause she's here a lot of the times that I'm online or in the chats or stuff. So,
Well,
she already knows you. She just knew.
Yeah, that's why I was surprised when I saw it. And I'm like, wait a minute. Then I saw your name. I'm like, okay, I accepted it. And I'm like, I waited a couple of days. You were not. I didn't want to just pop in and say, surprise you with it when you come on all of a sudden. So that's how I told you.
One more thing I did want to say. I want to do, since we hadn't had a show on Veterans Day, I wanted to thank all our veterans that are in the chat and in our group. Roxy Carone is a veteran. I'm a veteran. It looks like Going on Grumpy is a veteran. So I mean, there's quite a few of us out there. Chad Pagel, and that's just the ones I know of. There's a lot of people that don't let people know that they were a veteran. But I just wanted to let everybody know. Thank you very much for your service. It means a great deal to me. So thank you.
Oh, she says you're welcome. And in a way, that what we're talking about, your wife friending me on Facebook and stuff, that leads into some of my good. So I do have two separate ones, and like I told you before, and I said it, the bad and the ugly part might tie together. So I want to try separating the two. The good that I have is one of the goods I have is about the friends that we make. And to me, for people that don't know, I may friend you on Facebook or stuff like that. If you notice, I don't talk too often to people. There are only select few that I will literally seek out and PM, if not daily, at least a couple times a week. So those people that I do that to work their way to where I actually trust them enough to do it.
Hey, that's me.
You're working.
I'm one of them.
And you have to admit, we friended each other. I don't know how long ago, but I didn't PM you until I actually asked if you wanted to be on the show as a permanent co-host, except for the one time as a My Life guest. After that, otherwise we really didn't talk.
Not much. Yeah, you're right. Maybe here and there, but not an actual friendship type talking, just in the same chat or something.
And I'd press on you about being late to my shows and stuff like that. But that was
right.
But now I literally PM you about things that are going on in our lives. I let you in to where other people don't know everything. And there's even some people that are further in than that. And Chad's one of them. That's why I wanted him to be on. I wanted him to hear this in person. I've said it to him before, to where it feels like Chad and Kim are family to Roxy and I. So
that's awesome.
And I don't know how to word it because of the fact there's certain times, like we always say, this is a community or family. There's family, then there's family.
For sure. Well, I mean, you always have your family you're a little bit closer with, and then there's the extended family that, you go to the family reunions and you pat each other on the back and you see every 2 years or whatever. But then, you have your close knit family. So it's, it is, I think it is a family. Just everybody plays their individual part of it.
And it depends on how far you want to let them in, how much of a family it actually becomes.
Agreed.
Because I will admit, there's only one other person I really PM daily or semi-daily, and that's Sean. And there was a time that we didn't even talk for a while because of personal issues or whatever. But we finally got over that. We're talking every once in a while when we can. So
that's awesome. Yeah.
It's not like I ended the friendship. I just let things cool off. We were still friends, and we worked it out. And there are people that, like I said, Chad and I feel consider more of a family, to the point where if I had a choice, I'd move down there. He offered for me to come visit him for a while and see if I would even want to move down there. I already know I want to move down there because there's nobody around here to pick with. So it's kind of
right.
I'm like, now if you were to say you were moving down here, then I may not want to move out there, because at least I would be able to have somebody to go picking with. It's a little different. That's something I like.
No, I understand.
I like the area I'm in. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was going to say I'm similar to you. I don't have a lot of people that that I'm close friends with. It's just my personality. I'm kind of an introvert. So yeah, I'm in the same kind of boat. I don't, I've met some really nice people in the reselling group, and I feel like it's family. And then there's some that, like you said, are a little bit closer. Me and you, we talk, every other day or every day or whenever we're both on, which is with busy schedules and such. It's sometimes it's not every day, but within a couple of days of each other, and we kind of make sure we know, how each other are doing and what's going on in our lives other than just reselling. And I appreciate it. Thank you very much, Chris.
Well, you're welcome. As I said, it takes a while to get into that area of my life. So I don't just start out telling everybody everything. I want to hear, but even then, some of the stuff I leave out for personal reasons, or I just don't want it out there. But yeah, I'll tell people to let them know, okay, if something happens or I'm not on this show, or I'm not doing the show, this is why.
Sure.
They can always know something's going on. There's certain people that they know they can get a hold of and say, this is what's going on in so-and-so's life, and type of stuff.
Sure.
I see they're all still talking about Vietnam and stuff like that.
I know they're all talking about veterans they know, and disability for some of them, and then Angie came in, so everybody's say hi to Angie. Yeah, they're still talking about a lot of veterans they know. I think I'd be willing to bet that everybody knows at least one veteran, or is related to one veteran, or has run across a veteran in their life for sure. So Mr. Sadie is your long lost uncle, huh? See, I didn't even know that.
I didn't either.
Wait, Chris, I thought we were friends. You didn't tell me this?
We were just talking about how often I don't talk to my real sister.
Exactly.
So how am I supposed to know that Mr. Sadie's my uncle?
I don't know. As long as he's not Uncle Touchy, you don't want that kind of uncle anymore. Those. Yeah.
Well, and I'm gonna save my other good for later, because I don't know how the other situations are going to be going. So,
got to go out on a good note.
I attempt to go out on a good note.
Exactly.
One of my bads is the fact we covered this a little bit back when we did the Attitude Show. There are certain people that seem to still have this attitude that either their shit don't stink, or they think something's wrong with somebody else, and by reaction to what happens. Because, and if you act a certain way in group toward a certain person, how are they going to expect you to act as a either potential customer or a seller? Because that was one of the things that bothered me. I had to kick somebody. I didn't even kick the person, I should say. And I made a comment. There was a post. He made a comment. I said, the only thing I've seen is on whining wise was from this person. And I came out and said it. All of a sudden, I'm condescending. I'm going to kick him out like I'm prone to do. And it doesn't sit well with me, because of the fact that I put out a lot of time, and I know a lot of the viewers know how much I do help out in the groups, and I know the other admins do. It's just it seems like certain people think I have an attitude, and I think it's furthest from the truth that I have a condescending attitude of I'm better than other people. I say it all the time. I'll get somebody else that's got more knowledge than me on the show, or I'll tag somebody in the post to back up what I'm saying or to correct me if I'm wrong. So I don't know what your opinion is on that, Dwayne, because I showed you some of what was said in that post.
Yeah, I think it's very hard to be in a position that you're in when you're in a position of some not I won't even call it power, but in a place where you have to put forth a little law and order in the chaos. I think a lot of people are going to feel that they are being squelched and censored or anything like that. So it's not necessarily your attitude, I believe. It's just the fact that the position you're put in, being an admin or being a moderator or whatever, you're always going to offend somebody just because that's human nature. Nobody likes to be corrected, especially in a public forum. But I think you do a wonderful job as an admin. I've seen some of the nastiness that has come through, and I think the way you deal with it is commendable. I mean, I don't know if I'd be as nice about it as you, or even as calm. And I know it does get you riled up sometimes, and I've seen that, and it should, because people are attacking something that you find hold dear to your heart, and that's this making the Reseller Society a friendly place. And with 20,000 people in that thing, or 22, or wherever you're at now, I don't even know, you're way up there. You're going to have a lot of different personalities, and it's going to be tough. So I think you do a good job. And like I said, I've seen some of the ones where what they've said, and you're just going to have to deal with those people. Do your best, and like this, you're venting, getting it off your chest. It's probably a good thing.
And that's the thing. I don't want. How often do I say I don't want to do a show like this? Because I like to give out and help. I don't want people giving me pity. I don't want the congratulations of being an admin. I'm just letting people know how hard it can be, and I'm not the only one that goes through it.
Right. I agree. Yeah.
There are certain admins that, when there's an issue, they get the PMs, not everybody else. There's only one. So it's like there's certain ones that are faces, and there's other ones that handle the background of what happens. If I'm making myself understandable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
I'm reading the chat. Sorry.
Yeah, but that's part reason to put my other part of the bad is because at times when it does get to me to the point, and I'll admit it, I've said it to Chad. There's times I've said, I think about taking a break, and he told me, if you really need to take one, take one. But in my heart, I can't, because of the way I've already helped out as much as I do, and I sometimes feel like if I do, that's when the real bad stuff might still stick in, because certain people don't text the groups all the time, whereas I do. I say flat out, I have it where if somebody posts something in the group, it's already, I get the notification. Other people might not get it. They might get notification of a friend posting in the group, or if they're tagged in the post. Otherwise, they may not necessarily check, which is fine. I just like to be more hands-on because I want to catch the problems before it hits.
Sure. Well, and that's a daunting task, especially in a forum that gets so many posts. I mean, the Reseller Society has a lot. I was reading in the chat here that Chris Piles, that's why he stopped having the Amazon FBA Motivators show, was something similar to the people that he was having problems with, and it got to the point where he didn't want to do it anymore. He wasn't, it wasn't fun for him anymore, having to deal with the crazy people. And Coco, she has a great, point, that she doesn't understand how, people with different opinions, why can't we respect that? And I think some people really think that the forums, the Facebook posts or whatever are more like, debating, debates or something. Whereas you can put your opinion in, and, you should be able to and feel pretty confident about it. But it seems like some people use that as just debate material. They just want to be the anti of whatever you're saying, just to argue. And it's crazy myself. I don't understand. So
Well, let's just say you made a comment, and I'm gonna read it because, in a way, it's to a point where I'm getting to. He says they should be grateful for that they have someone like you and not someone like me to deal with. I have little patience for stupid and drama.
Right. For sure. Yeah, I can understand. That's why I was saying is you act, the way you deal with it is probably a lot better than the way I would deal with it. I'd probably get myself in trouble.
I'm getting tired of it. I'm just going to start being the. Well, I don't want to swear. All right, I don't want to be that type of person to say bad words on my show. It's just, I'm going to be that type of person. I'm getting to the point where, okay, it's done, and I'm not going to care anymore. And that's where I don't want to really get to. Because every time
like everybody's like people are saying in the chat, take a break for a bit, take a week off, get away from the drama. Cause I mean, all that negativity, it's just not good for people. When we lost our house, we moved to a trailer park, which, I swear nobody in this trailer park was happy ever. And just the negativity of being there, drug us down as well. And so it was just, that it's like a cloud. Negativity can be a cloud, and it can suffocate, and sometimes you just got to get away from it and go, oh, wow, I can breathe, So maybe just take a break.
Well, yeah, you're always saying I should take a break. The funny thing is, I had a week break in October. But even then, I wasn't full of drama then. But still, even when I was with my family, when I got home, I checked the groups. It's like, that's just the way I am. That's my mentality. It's, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. I'm not going to necessarily take a break. Like I said, because then that's when the other stuff will trickle in, and it may not get caught till a month later. And someone might say, well, I got to do it this time, first time, why can't I do it this time? Then it starts all over again.
No, and I understand that. I understand. Yeah, I mean, when you take personal pride in something, it's hard to leave it in hopes that somebody will pick up the slack for you while you're. I
know there are some certain admins that do pick up the slack when I'm not on. Sometimes they're beating me to adding people, so I know they take it just like I do. It's just they're not out there saying things on, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I've seen them say stuff too. It's just I'm more vocal or whatever you want to say in the groups.
Right. Yeah, you do a lot of more chatting, so.
And that leads into the ugly part. Like everybody's talking about that one person that I was just talking about. There's one particular person, and I'm not mentioning names, that has came out, and I don't know if he's still around, said that he was going to try suing me and Chad for discrimination because I kicked him out of the group. And that's the biggest one, because he even came on other people's shows or videos and commented about Chad or about myself, or he made comments on my channel about it. And it's like all over being kicked out.
Right. Yeah, it got way out of hand, that's for sure.
And I don't want to use his name, so I know. But I mean, and I don't want anybody going off asking Chad. Chad, I know it doesn't bother him anymore. He got rid of the guy in his own way. It's just, it bothered me enough to where I wanted to say something, because I don't want it going on my other friends' videos, like when I'm on Wesley's channel or something like that, all of a sudden they're getting the brunt of, why did you have this person on? It's like, that person doesn't know what transpired between us, so why bring them into something that doesn't concern them?
Right. Exactly right. The trolls are, I mean, you hope that if you do have a troll, it stays at least within the one group. But when they break out and become more personal and start personal attacks and threatening and going to other people's videos and threatening through their videos and their posts, that's when it gets out of hand. And yeah, I don't even know what to do. I mean, I don't even know.
And I mean, he admitted to people that he actually went and to my channel and disliked some of my videos. Okay, that's supposed to hurt me, but the fact that he said he was going to try to sue, I don't know if he's still going through with that. Because I've watched him on Facebook. I can't get him a hold of me on Facebook. I'm not going to worry about him getting a hold of me on my Facebook page, but I don't know. There could be that one thing that's sitting back there that I don't know about that comes rolling over me.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about a lawsuit. I mean, it's not like you slandered his name or anything like that, and it's not like you've stopped his business from happening because of something you've said. I think he's just throwing, being a little bit blustery and throwing out, big words, things that to try and scare you or something. Because first of all, Facebook is a private entity. You're not going to get, you have to let me on because I'm, whatever, you know what I'm saying? It's not, there's no, what do you call it? I can't even think of the name right now. Anyway, yeah, I don't think he has a chance in hell of ever doing something silly like that. So I wouldn't even worry about it.
Well, I know. Deep down, I'm not too worried about it because if I was gonna get sued, I think I would have gotten a paper thing in the mail by now. Or at least I think he would, as much as he talks about it. But it's just that all over being kissed, and I know everything. Well, it's Facebook. It's still how you carry yourself because it was a Facebook group for reselling.
Oh, I agree.
That tells me if I found out his store, I wouldn't want to go buy in there, or I wouldn't not necessarily want him as a customer because if he's threatening to sue me because I kicked him out, what if I wanted a return, or I was able not to give him a refund because it was within my right not to? All of a sudden, I'm gonna get sued. It's like that's part of the attitude again.
Right, for sure.
You should carry yourself everywhere how you want to be remembered.
That's true. Very true. What does Mr. Sadie say? I'll talk. Yeah, exactly. And after being an ass like that, you can't expect anybody to take him seriously. You know, if anybody that read any of the posts are going to know that, you know, that it doesn't make any sense. So,
yeah,
but it really is bad that it gets to that. I mean, it's sad that somebody gets that bent out of shape about, you know, being kicked out of a group when your rules are posted. I mean, multiple times I've seen, you know, hey, go read these are our rules. They're not that difficult. So it's not like you didn't warn them, you know, and, again, it should not affect their business because they're not in this group anymore. You know, it's really silly, really silly.
So they're making comments of that. I don't have to worry about being sued, and some say he has 5 years or whatever. Okay, that part, forget about the suing part now. If he were to find my store somehow, then I still have to worry about what he can do to my business.
Right.
That's the most thing I'm worried about. Yes, I've had other issues with other people, but it hasn't gone to where anybody went toward my business or even said anything on my channel. it was all in the back room, whatever you want to call it, if they had issues.
Right.
So, and yes, I'm bringing it out here because that's the one time I actually felt like I needed to get these things out, and I didn't want to do it in the groups where, as I am, one of the faces of the ad, as an admin. If I'm sitting there BSing, yelling out about whatever, venting in the group, and then I yell at somebody else for venting, it's kind of contradictory. So.
Yep, absolutely.
It's,
So, yeah, I think everybody's basically saying the same thing I'm saying. You know, don't worry about it. Keep an eye out for in case, something further happens that, like with your store or something like that. But for the most part, it's just people crying.
And I mean, I understand. So that we laugh all the time about the amount of dislikes and stuff on some of my videos. Lately, a lot of my videos are starting to get dislikes, and I'm like, okay, since when did I get 9 haters? So that's what I'm saying. I don't know if he's the one buying them or things like that. So it's,
yeah.
I laugh at it because I look over at the likes, and I'm like, okay, I only had 40 watchers tonight, pre-show or the week out, and I tell you my numbers after within a week, and it's like that many likes, that many views, and then so many dislikes. It was like, okay, so somebody really either hurting or they really want to think they're, I don't know. So
yeah,
if you guys want to hit dislike on this, I understand. I know it's not necessarily what you're used to for this show.
Right.
But in a way, it's kind of like my updated my life type of thing. My life now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's nice to let people know that, that this stuff is out there and to be careful. And, it is a public service announcement, even if it's, just to say that people are out there, be careful. Not everybody thinks logically, so. Yep, everybody's saying block him as a buyer. The only problem I would say about that is if you block him as a buyer, first of all, he has friends. Most people, well, I won't say he has friends. I don't know. He may not have friends. But I know that if it gets rough and tumble, a lot of people have their friends do a lot of the buying and screwing with people's stores. So I think it's better not to block him and just not worry about it. Just go on, move on. If he comes at you again, then maybe take different type of action, especially if you recognize him buying something from your store.
And I might be opening my doors to it because of doing the show right now. Because
it's true, very true.
Might know who I'm talking about without me mentioning names. Might send him a message and say, which
yeah, that's true. That's very true. We probably shouldn't be giving good ways to get back at people on the show, good ideas, right? So, okay, are you done?
Yeah, I'm done with that's basically that was the ugly. That's where
that's what I'm saying. Let's get away from the negativity.
Well,
it sucks.
That's what I'm saying. Personal issues is another thing. So you may not think of it as affecting your business, and then all of a sudden that person might come in and do something where it affects your business. So be careful on where your personal issues are discussed and stuff like that. And I know I'm opening the door, but that's what I'm doing.
Right. Sure. Well, and like what Mr. Sadie says, keep track of all the emails and the bad posts and stuff, and just keep them handy in case they ever come in handy for in case something bad ever had to happen and you had to have proof of something.
And like I said, he made one comment on one of my videos, and I didn't block him. I ended up hiding the comment on the post, the video, instead of blocking him outright. So
right.
I have to wait till he actually comments on another video, if he does, before I can block him.
Right. Sure.
So I've watched him everywhere else that I can think of. Except for my store because I wouldn't know what his ID is, so I'm not gonna go digging for it. I'm not gonna be that type of detective.
Right, right. Well, then you end up just being the same troll that he is, only in a different way.
Right.
When if you go
I'm trying to
stalking him.
higher road right now. After saying
Absolutely.
this off my chest, I'm blowing it off otherwise.
Absolutely.
Well, let's end the next 20 minutes with good information and good and good happiness.
Positive karma.
Well, we were talking before the show. I actually made a sale this morning.
Yes, very good.
Over on Bonanza, of all places. And I didn't find out until I checked eBay when all of a sudden the eBay said I ended it listing saying it was no longer available. I was like, wait a minute, I never said this was not available. So she went to good till canceled. So I relisted it. Then I went decided, wait a minute, I better check Bonanza. And that's when I found out it was sold at 10 o'clock this morning. And so I had to go and the no listing.
Well, it was a good catch though. Because thinking that eBay makes a mistake or a glitch, that does happen from time to time. It's a good catch because with my luck, I would have relisted it, not caught it. Then I'd get somebody upset at Bonanza because I didn't send it to them, and then they'd sell again, and then I wouldn't have it. Or yeah, it would have just been bad if it would have been me. I have that kind of luck at times.
Yeah, so I got to pack it up tonight or early tomorrow morning. The wife's gonna do it, depending on how she's feeling, and we're gonna. And even though it's not an eBay sale, I may just walk it up to the post office anyway just to get it out because that's another thing I've been having problems with them not scanning at times to the point where I had to call them twice to get them to. And they said, "Well, we'll put a note on this that they have to scan." Even the last one I looked at it, they didn't scan it, and then later on I looked again, and they said it was scanned at 10:42 in the morning. I'm like, wait a minute, at 11 o'clock when I checked. It said nothing about it being scanned. When it was 6 o'clock at night, it said it was scanned at 10.
Yeah. Chad's in the house, by the way.
Hey, Chad. By the way, Chad, you got a link to the show if you want to pop in. I already talked about you.
And it was even good stuff this time.
Yeah, you were all good in some of the other issue that you know about.
When you go to your post office, you're having a hard time getting them to scan it, even if you walk it to them, or only if they pick it up?
Lately, it was only when if they picked it up.
Oh, okay.
When I walk in, I have no issue. They said they even taken away. One was going to throw something. That's when I said I still need the receipt.
Right,
said,
right.
Okay, scan, and then she did it, and then threw it over because you can throw it over where all the other boxes were to be scanned later.
Right.
And mine was the first class package, and I was not chancing it, not getting scanned at all.
Right, right. What you need to do is get a hold of your postal guy that picks up at your post office or your box, from your house, and sweet talk him and tell him, give him some cookies or something, and get him to scan every time.
Well, here's the thing: the first guy that we had for a long time when we first got here did do the scanning and everything else. Now it's not having any problems. Comes to they switched drivers, and we did a package, and he said that, well, I just scanned this paper, not the box. I'm like, no, you're supposed to scan this. But I was already too late by the time I talked to him, so it was the next day. Mm-hmm. So that's why I said, okay.
Yeah, I'm just saying, get with your postal worker and bribe him a little bit and say, hey, can you, when you pick this up, I got some cookies for you. Scan, something.
Well, kind of find out this week when the other guy checked when I went out, so he picked it up, and I'm like, I was going to ask him to scan it then, but he was already gone by the time I got outside. So, and she was driving off, and I saw it was a totally different driver again. So I wanted to give him a chance to scan on his own.
Yeah, I got you.
A new driver, or if he was just a replacement for the day. So I was not wanting to drag somebody else into the, if they were already going to be doing their job, if they were going to do it right. That's why when I said it was
Sure.
10:32, yeah, I didn't see it until 6 o'clock at night. I was like, okay, so how did he get that time right? But it worked anyway, so.
So Chad's telling us about his gastrointestinal issues, about eating at a local chain, and that he loves their chicken. Well, maybe you should check and make sure that the chicken is cooked, Chad.
And then he just asked if he missed the real talk, and I said, yes. And that, Chad, like I said, you got the link, so if your body go should come on. I won't rehash it with yet unless you want to, but I don't think the viewers want to sit through it again.
Oh, I'm sure they could deal with it. It wasn't that long.
Well, anybody else might want to get hit for it, but that's the fact.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And plus, like I said, I wanted to say the early first thing, good thing to his face anyway. So I like you to be on, Chad, but if you come in the after show, I'll do it then, but I'd rather do it on the air. Everybody else already heard it on the air. But my other good thing I had was the influencers of YouTube in our lives.
Yep.
Like Chad, like you, like everybody that we watch that gives us good information. Sometimes it's not even information about business that they're giving, it's about life.
Sure.
Like I watched one of my friends earlier today because they made up a show at 3 o'clock my time that they didn't get to do Friday. And it's like, I'm going to be on that show on December 9th, along with 5 or 4 other people who already guessed on their channel. So they're doing a special show type of thing. And they talk about real. That's why it came out, time to get real.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to take it off of their little show, and they said, go ahead. Like, so.
Right. Gotcha.
Mr. Sadie's trying to cause trouble.
Not Mr. Sadie, never.
No, if anything, Chad's the one that was backing me up in the situation.
For sure.
That's one of the things that I say about Chad. That's why I said, as a good friend / family, whenever I've had problems, when I've gone to him and said, okay, this person's pushing the limit, I'm not wanting to kick them because I don't want it to make it look like it's personal when they got personal. That's when they say, okay, we did it. Or we're giving you permission to do it, and then, or whatever. It's like I'm trying to avoid I'm trying to avoid trouble by saying, okay, this person's pushing the limit when I should just end it. Cut whatever part of their body part, their head, or whatever else you want to talk about off. And just end it.
Yeah, right.
But
Exactly.
It's my personality to try to at least give them chances to prove that they're not that person. Hey, there he is. Hey, Chad.
Hey, what's up?
Well,
we're not live from your bathroom, are we?
No, I'm outside.
Okay, good.
I'm on that crappy lap where it probably isn't very good.
Well, Chad, I'm going to say it to you now. I said it early on in the show, and I've told you this before, but the way me and you have known each other for going on 3 years now, it feels like we're almost family instead of just friends.
Right. I agree. Chris is good people.
And that's the one thing we were talking about. It's like good friends, family, and it's like I joked about moving down here to be with you just so I can go out picking.
Yeah, there you go.
And then I made a comment to Dwayne. I said, if Dwayne were to move closer to me, then I may not want to necessarily move to you because I'll have somebody to go picking with you.
Oh, so I'm your second choice. That's cool.
No, I'm not.
That's cool.
It's the idea of having somebody around. I mean, I still want to go visit you and everything else. You know what I mean? It's just.
Or your last choice. Let me get that right.
No.
No, I think what's really important is I mean, it's pretty obvious. It really is to me anyway, that when you're dealing with people who are just real people, you know, they don't make themselves out to be more than what they are. Chris, he doesn't. He's very open. That look, I'm not a huge, big time seller. But I'll tell you what, I know about the process and I know about this. And I know about, he doesn't make himself out to be something he's not. And that's what draws me towards people, is just being real. I don't care where you're at on this, you know. I don't get intimidated by big time sellers, and I don't look down on little sellers. It's about the person. So, and that's what's drawn me to Chris. So he's a good man.
Yeah, anything to say?
Yeah. Yeah, what he said. Exactly what he said. Couldn't have said it better.
You're a good guy too there, Dwayne.
Oh, yeah. I'll pay you that 20 later, all right?
And that's one thing I said, Ken, is that it takes people a lot to get to where I trust them enough to talk like this and PM them and stuff like that.
To pee on me.
Another one of them that I started PMing him at least a couple of times a week. Not just about the shows either. It's about life. So I get things off.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's so much more than just what we do. I mean, there's more octopus arms that go out, you know. There's personal level, there's, you know, spiritual level for some people. And I mean, it's just, it's a human experience, and you come across people, and some people you just don't get along with, and your personalities just don't match up. And it's, you know, it is what it is.
Just like everywhere else in life. I mean, this is just a small piece of you know, everything else in life. You're not going to be able to make everybody happy, and you're not going to make everybody upset at the same time. So.
Yep.
And that's one of the things we were talking about. We went back to our show about the attitudes as a buyer/seller type of thing. If you have the same attitude in the groups, you're gonna that tells people who to go to as a seller or a buyer. And
right.
That's one of the things that I brought up, was the fact that certain people seem to think I had this certain attitude within the groups, whereas I think I carry myself to a point better than a lot of people. Go ahead.
I don't think people just don't understand until they have tried to run a group and the crap you have to deal with. You have people just can't sit back and criticize something that they have never done. It does take a toll on you. And just because you choose not to cater to people and everything else, then you're a bad guy. You're a dictator. You're power hungry. No, it's just I choose not to mess with it. And, you know, there's bigger fish to fry than to mess with you complaining that we are censoring you. You know, it's a privilege to be in the group. It's not a right. So, I mean, it's until somebody's actually done it, they can't criticize. You know?
That's why a lot of times I came to you when I've had issues. I said, have I overstepped my bound? I've said it to you. I've asked it in the admin or personal admin chat. Have I ever stepped over my bounds? Let me know so I can figure out where I went too far for the next time. And every time, just like every time you guys say, I haven't overstepped my bounds yet.
If anytime you've ever come to me, what have I told you?
I got your back.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
But I mean, that's the you could say you got like back for friends. That's why I always ask, make sure I don't overstep. Because there are groups that have leaders that do like to think they're the best of, you know what I mean. So
Sure. And you're going to get that with anything. I mean, it's kind of like the military, and not as bad. I mean, it's much worse than the actual military is. But with the military, you have a big mixing pot of people. You get with a bunch of people from different cultures to different religions to different backgrounds to different, you name it. It's a big mixing pot. And somehow they always end up working together for the same cause, the same goal. I tell you what, everybody out there needs to look at the military as an example of how to do things. Now, with a Facebook group, all these people together, this big, huge mixing pot, and it's you get what you get that in a real life. Guess what? They're an asshole in this group. There's no filter. There's nothing to keep them straight. Okay. And they're just gonna do what they want to do. And it creates chaos. And what you have to do is step in and minimize the issues. So
And
yeah,
I was gonna say I didn't bring up by name, so we're not mentioning names, but I did mention that one person threatened me, and I did say that he threatened you with a lawsuit.
yeah, that dude was posting my private information on the internet, my address and everything else. So yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. There's certain things I was worried about him doing to me that he did to you. I didn't want to say what he did to you.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
it just, but that was
man, you're gonna come. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yep.
I was just going to say that. So that's why I was saying that was the ugly part that we talked about today.
Yeah.
Well, the good was about you and Dwayne and Sean. How you three are basically right now more or less my best friends. And you're, Chad, I'm going to say it, and I said it to Dwayne right before the show, that you're more, and I said it in the ear, you're more closer to family than friend.
Yeah. Does that mean you'll loan me 50 grand? Come on, we're family, brother.
If I
He
had
would if he had it.
Pass it over. Pass it over.
and Chad, I'm not going to, this time I'm going to say, you actually offered me, when I said there were certain things going on, you said, you need me to help you with this. And I said, no, we'll deal with it for the next day. And that was my situation was handled. But you were there for me when I didn't necessarily need it. I said, no, I don't want to even go there with you, even though I knew you would, and you knew I would probably accept it if I really needed it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's what it's about. You know,
Absolutely.
Who's this called the Wambulance?
Oh, they're just talking about your buddy that you and that one guy that he was just.
Well, yeah, and I think Chicago Hustlers talking about in general all the people that are saying that they're hurt and everything else because of what's going on politically too. So.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean,
yeah,
there's a whole new society out there that as much as it does, but yeah, it's a big chunk of society of this entitlement. This, I don't know, man. It's almost like anybody that's ever been in the middle back and watch what's going on. It just makes you sick to your stomach, you know. We want it because we're entitled to it, and that just makes people who worked to get where they're at just makes them sick. And that's why, plain and simple.
Yep, and that's one thing I said, that my shows are not usually about me venting off things getting off my chest until it really gets to a point.
Yeah, it's your show. You can do what you want.
I know, but I'm just saying that I've had it in my head, and I've always wanted to be reselling related. Yeah. Even when I did the My Life part, I was talking about reselling to a point. What got you to that point? So this was more an extension of my life as it is now. So
yeah. You know, and ultimately, Chris, it's okay to take suggestions from your viewers and, you know, what do you guys want to see and stuff like that. But ultimately, it's your channel. Okay. Just that part of me that says, you know, I'm the one that's putting the effort into this, you know, and it's great to have people, you know, watching stuff, but, you know, I'm going to do what I want to do, you know, and there's going to be a lot of people disagree with that. But guess what? It's like, I can live without you if you really have an issue with it. So don't let the door hit you in the butt. And it's, you get to the point where you're doing it because they tell you to do it or try to dictate how you live your life or run your business or anything like that, then you just got to take a step back. It's like, no, this is mine. I'm doing it for me, how I want to do it, you know, and it's cool to take direction. Absolutely. But ultimately, don't be influenced, Chris. Do what you want to do.
I do mostly what I want. And that's like how often do I ever really do a rant video like this or
yeah, and I say that to everybody as a blanket statement. Don't be, you know, like these bullies that come out. You know, somebody said on my channel the other day, you know, somebody said, well, where's your Trump sign, Chad? Because I had a Trump sign that was behind me in a video, and somebody, it was gone. We brought it out here out back, and somebody had said, well, where's your Trump sign? And then somebody made the comment, by having that Trump sign, you're alienating 50% of your viewers. It only hurts you. And I'm thinking, hold on a second. You know, people can come on and be hardcore Chicago Sox people, fans. And, you know, so really, what's the difference? I mean, I understand politics, but I mean, people are offended. I have a signed copy of Donald Trump's The Art of the Deal sitting on the shelf behind me, and it triggers people. Well, that's not my problem. It's your problem that you need to work on and get over, you know, and to where people are trying to turn it around like it's my fault that I'm triggering people. That's where the big issue is. That's where the big drop is, and that's where your haters come from and how you react to them. You know, it's a matter of ground, you know. That's where you need to say, this is mine. This isn't you. Once you start paying my bills, and you can dictate what I do or I say. If you don't like it, hit the road. And be, absolutely, you know, stand up. And which is the same way in our group, and that's where I'm trying to go with this is, you know, like the people you have issues in the group, if they don't want to follow your rules, which it's your group. If they want a group with their rules, then they can go make a group with their rules. And that comes where you're at. And that's where people are really losing their, you know, they expect to be able to come into somebody else's place and dictate how they run it, because it's about them and not the overall picture of what this person's trying to do. Did that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, and at the same time, they're there to accept the information and off of the advice you give.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if we can have Glenn in here anymore. He's an LSU fan.
Yeah. I mean, it's really along that lines. It really is. I mean, that's stupid. I mean, it's, yeah. I mean, I can understand if somebody's going on like just a huge rant, you know, about how much I hate Hillary and blah, 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 blah. Well, I don't do that, you know. I'm like pro-Trump. I got a Trump sign behind me, you know, and that ends up being alienating to people. It's like, get over yourself.
So, well, that's what tonight's show was about, was just the good, the bad, and ugly. And I will be honestly surprised we held 40 plus viewers for most of the night.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to thank all your viewers for watching me rant, basically.
Yeah.
Well, and I'd say
Well, I hope I
probably the
didn't.
44 that showed up to watch understand too. That they've been around here and watched enough of your videos and Chad's and everybody's that they understand the rant because they've seen these type of people in Facebook and they understand that being an admin and having to put your foot forward is not an easy task.
Yep, it's like the armchair quarterbacks, Monday morning quarterbacks. It's like, I could do better than that. It's like, I'll sit back and watch you do it. Yeah, I hope I did anybody tonight. So I guess you'll know by your dislikes, eh?
That's another thing we talked about was the fact that I told you about how the show with you on when you were wearing that Hillary shirt.
Yeah.
Has
Right. Well, you do know.
It had like 18 dislikes last I knew. Over 1,000 something views. So.
Well, and there is something to be learned from that. Kim's, she's in her college and she's doing the psychology stuff. And she actually told me that with that, say, for instance, that shirt I had on, okay, if I went out in public and I got jumped by a bunch of people, socially, I was the aggressor. Sounds kind of crazy, but that's the way they look at it. I'm the one that provoked the situation just by wearing that shirt. It's not about freedom of speech anymore. I'm the aggressor just by wearing that shirt. It caused me to get my butt kicked. My fault. And that's how we've kind of gotten twisted in society now. It's not so much about free speech. It's about offending somebody. And that's why you see these safe spaces to where, it's just, instead of having free speech, it's
you actually have
being aggressive. And
a choice.
It's a sad state that,
This
yeah.
is my color.
Yeah, if you have a Trump sticker on your car, you're it's almost that old saying that a woman that gets raped, it's like saying, well, don't dress so sexy and you won't get raped. It's like, and that's really what it comes down to. It's not a matter of the woman got raped. It's people are looking at her and say she brought it on herself. And that's how society is turning and actually really moving towards. And it's kind of sad.
Yeah, very sad.
But that's the way it is. And that's what they're teaching in college. I mean, this is today's stuff. That's what Kim's learning in school and the reason behind it. And it's just a whole new movement that our country's moving in. It's acceptable now.
Well, they were out asking how sales are going. Like I said before you popped in, I had a sale at Bonanza of all places today, Chad. So I was a little shocked when that happened. I thought I was deleted that eBay made a mistake and ended a listing, even though it was supposed to be good till canceled. And they said that I ended it. I'm like, no, I didn't. So I relisted it. Then I checked Bonanza and realized that it's over there.
So it actually worked by them taking it down.
Yep. And I didn't get as much on Bonanza as I wanted on eBay, but that's because I kept changing the price on eBay. That thing with me, I don't change prices on the Bonanza once they get listed over there. So I ended up taking less money than I really wanted on eBay. But I choose not to sit there and rearrange or reprice everything on Bonanza. 190 plus listings. I'm not going to sit through and figure out where I have on eBay just like match.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So in a way, I'm doing your quick whip in a different version. I'm doing it where whatever the price is at Bonanza is the money I'm getting.
Right on. Very good.
Well, we are past the hour, so you want to stick around for an after show, Chad, or?
I can for a little bit, man. My gut is messed up.
Well, then I'm gonna.
But the chicken is so good there, man. It's good.
Chad, I want you to look at these bottles. Look how much they are. Elephant ones were.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm in a show, Katie. Thanks. She's like, well, hold on. Let me explain this, okay? Because they're searching the offer up and all that stuff, and Katie's pretty much very proficient, because you guys know I don't like to use the word expert, but she's very proficient in like baby bottles, because she's a new mother and she knows the different brands and the high ends and the low ends and what makes them more expensive. And they're finding a lot of this stuff on the offer up and going for like $42 on the. It's like crazy because they have little elephants on them. But yeah, whatever you go to learn about, become proficient in it, and you can make some money at it.
Well, with that being the last tip, Dwayne, you want to say anything before we end?
No, I think just keep doing what you're doing, because you're doing a good job. And if you got to vent once in a while.
And I want to thank, like I said, I want to thank everybody to watch tonight. Wednesday night, we are going to have a show on multiple stores and how to run them.
Oh, fun.
Well, yeah. If you definitely want to talk about having 8 stores, you might as well take advantage of it.
Yeah, I can't even. I just barely take care of my one store.
Logistics of it would drive me crazy. It's like, hold on, where did this sell from? What?
Yeah, no kidding.
Getting
that would be horrible.
Well, that's going to be good.
Dude, I had a hard time.
Go ahead, Chad.
Yeah, I had a hard time dealing with Bonanza and eBay at the same time, let alone.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll be hitting on that and a lot more on Wednesday night. So I want to thank all 40 plus viewers again tonight for watching. I will be posting the link in the chat here. I'm not going to be putting it in the group. So if you can't get it on the link in the chat, sorry. I will talk to you Wednesday night.